In the days of Noah, the world was drowning in darkness. People had turned their backs on God, and wickedness was spreading like a wildfire. It was a time when every thought, every imagination of the human heart was only evil all the time. In those days, giants walked the earth, mighty men famous for their raw strength and overwhelming pride. Seeing this, God declared, "My spirit will not remain with humans forever. Their days will be 120 years. The Lord looked down upon the world he had created, and his heart was filled with deep sorrow. He saw the violence, the corruption, and the sin that had consumed everything. And he said, I will destroy mankind, for they have filled the earth with evil. But among all the people there was one man, Noah, who found favor in the eyes of God. God spoke directly to Noah, giving him a command that would change the course of history. Build yourself an ark of wood, he said. Make it large enough to hold your family and every kind of living creature. For I am going to send rain upon the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. And Noah did not question or hesitate. He obeyed, doing everything just as God commanded him. 7 days after Noah and his family entered the ark, the flood began. It wasn't just rain. The great fountains of the deep burst open, and the floodgates of the heavens were unleashed. The waters rose higher and higher, swallowing the land until even the tallest mountains were completely submerged. Every living thing that breathed on dry land perished in the deluge. Only Noah, his family, and the animals sheltered safely inside the ark survived. For 150 long days, the waters covered the entire earth. Noah and his family waited patiently inside the ark, floating on the endless sea for a full year. Then, on the 17th day of the 7th month, a gentle bump was felt. The ark had come to rest upon the mountains of Ararat. The wait was almost over. After 40 more days, Noah opened a window in the ark and sent out a raven. The bird flew back and forth until the waters had finally dried up from the earth. Next, he sent out a dove, but it couldn't find a single place to land and returned to the ark. Noah waited 7 more days and sent the dove out again. This time it came back in the evening, and in its beak was a freshly plucked olive leaf, a sign of life. After another 7 days, he released the dove one last time, and it did not return. The earth was dry again. Then God spoke to Noah, "Come out of the ark, you and your family." As soon as he stepped onto dry ground, Noah built an altar and offered a sacrifice of thanksgiving to the Lord. God was pleased and made a promise, saying, "Never again will I destroy all life with a flood of water." And as a seal of this promise, God placed a vibrant rainbow in the sky, the beautiful sign of his everlasting covenant with all of humanity. After the flood, Noah became a man of the soil and planted a vineyard. His sons Shem, Ham, and Japheth became the fathers of new nations that would spread across the earth. From Ham's line came Nimrod, a mighty hunter who built the great city of Nineveh, and Shem became the ancestor of the Hebrew people. As generations passed, the world was united by a single language, but with this unity came arrogance. The people said to one another, "Come, let us build ourselves a city with a tower that reaches to the heavens." They wanted to make a name for themselves, but God saw their pride and came down to confuse their language. Suddenly, they could no longer understand one another, and their grand project fell into chaos. They were scattered across the face of the earth, and that place was forever known as Babel. The story of Noah is a powerful reminder that even in judgment there is always mercy. God remembers his promises and he honors faith. Through one man's obedience, humanity was given a new beginning, and God's covenant of grace, sealed by the rainbow, continues forever. Even thousands of years later, the story of Noah continues to speak to every generation. From his incredible life, we can learn timeless truths about God, about faith, and about ourselves. First, God is patient, but he is also just. He gave humanity 120 years to turn back to him before the flood. His judgment came only after his mercy was rejected. God's justice is never cruel. It is righteous and born from a place of love. Second, faith means obedience even when it doesn't make sense. Imagine Noah building a massive boat in the middle of dry land long before a single drop of rain had fallen. He trusted God when everyone else mocked him. Real faith obeys first and asks for understanding later. Third, God always provides a way of salvation. While the world was drowning in chaos, the ark became a floating sanctuary, a place of refuge. It's a powerful picture that God never abandons those who put their trust in him, offering a way out when all seems lost. Fourth, a new beginning always starts with surrender. When Noah stepped off the ark, his very first act wasn't to celebrate his survival, but to worship. He built an altar and thanked God. Every true restart in our lives begins not with pride, but with a heart of gratitude. Fifth, pride leads to confusion, but humility leads to blessing. When the people built the Tower of Babel, they were trying to reach heaven on their own terms. God scattered them by confusing their language. It's a timeless warning. Pride always divides and isolates, while humility is what restores and brings us together. And finally, God's covenant is eternal. That rainbow in the sky isn't just a pretty display of light and color. It's a divine promise that mercy will always triumph over judgment. God remembers His word even when we forget ours. And so the story of Noah reminds us of this unchanging truth. Even in the midst of judgment, there is mercy. Even in the midst of chaos, there is hope. And through one person's faith and simple obedience, God can start again with the world. May we all, like Noah, learn to walk faithfully with God even when the world around us chooses not to. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I truly hope this message has been an encouragement to your heart and has brought a little bit of light into your day. If you found value in what we shared, I would be so grateful if you would consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps us to keep creating content like this. And hey, don't forget to hit that like button. It tells YouTube you enjoyed the video and helps others find it too. If you know someone who might need to hear this message, please feel free to share it with them. You never know whose life you might touch. I pray that the rest of your day is filled with peace and blessings. Until next time, take care and God bless you. Thank you.